when someone says like, what's unique about Siena AI?
Really replicates the way humans think.
Selling more, increasing revenue. Can Siena help in those areas as well?
It is already helping beauty brands like Kitsch. So they have generated so much revenue since being with Siena.
Lisa Popovici is the co-founder of Siena AI, first of its kind autonomous customer service platform that has redesigned brands like K18 and Kitsch.
If an answer that Siena gives maybe isn't exactly right, and you want to know, oh, where did that come from?
It can even ask clarifying questions. The goal here is to also help these teams uncover what might not work very well in their business.
I could see a world where Siena one day has, if someone right now is thinking, I'm interested in embracing AI.
First thing that you should do, absolutely have clear goals. And
Lisa, what inspired you to start Siena?
Great question. So it was a combination of our feedback that we got from our customers at Cardloop. Before Siena, we were working on a conversational SMS marketing platform for Shopify brands, and because SMS was the channel that we were focusing on, they were always asking us can we do email or chat? Can we do other channels? Because we're drowning in tickets, and 70% of our questions are literally the same, like where is my order, and the popular ones. And they were really struggling, and obviously chatbots were not cutting it.
Yeah.
And then also it was this customer feedback was combined with our vision of how the ideal customer experience should look like. We were always very bullish on this particular part of e-commerce, the conversational commerce, the customer experience, and we try to look forward. And we knew that the future was AI, and we started digging into the customer service market versus just the SMS marketing market, and we realized there's so many inefficiencies. There's so many pain points that have not been yet solved. So we try to look, okay, how does the ideal CX look like today? How do humans actually do their job? And work backwards from there and try to replicate that experience. And it was a combination. So our vision, and then customer feedback, market validation, just doing a lot of research. And when we decided that, okay, let's actually tap into the customer service market and address a bigger challenge, we wanted to make sure that our vision and the product that we wanted to build actually is going to be much needed. And we started doing a lot of discovery with our existing customers, with other businesses as well, just trying to really, really validate properly the idea that we were about to build. This is, one of the biggest learnings is that it's not enough asking people hey, would you use this? And if they say yes, that's not the answer that you're looking for. So we really we love the mom test framework. Not sure if you've read that little book, but it's a really good one. Yeah.
I don't know that framework, but I always say when you're asking someone if it's a good idea and they say great, and they say great, would take out your credit card and I'll get you could be my first customer when it's ready. And they go, oh, whoa, well, I don't know if it's that good of an idea. It's the money always talks. Okay, so what exactly is Siena AI?
Yeah. So Siena AI is an empathic AI agent designed for e-commerce businesses. And this agent, it's a replica of a human agent that takes a seat into your ticketing system and starts working alongside your customer service team, and can help you automate very advanced use cases across all channels and languages. So we do email, chat, social media, DMs, comments, WhatsApp, SMS, whatever your preferences are. And we tackle use cases that go beyond the basic FAQs. We integrate with order management systems, with Shopify subscription platforms to do the end-to-end management of all of these transactional aspects of e-commerce. And we also recently just launched a custom actions capability, which allows our customers to plug in any other vendors or custom backends that they might have, so they can create very granular and nuanced, actions So for
Mm.
example, we just had someone integrate their own subscription platform. It's like a custom thing that they've built so they can actually have Siena, cancel subscriptions or skip or pause or, change the frequency or even replacement. So there's a lot of like advanced things that you can do. And I think one of the biggest differentiators of Siena is definitely its modularity.
Mm. I want to go back to something you said. You said it is an agent, which
Yes.
I think is, I want to be really clear on something. It's not the chat tool software. It is an agent that works within existing software merchants already using, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we're very much specialized in providing an AI agent that takes a seat inside of whatever ticketing system you might be using, whether it's Zendesk, Customer, Gorgias, Intercom, and you treat it as a real human agent. Like the way you train Siena is through natural English, um, plain writing instructions, give the context, the right context. So it's, when you train it, it's literally the closest thing is as you picking up the phone, calling your human agent and telling them what to do when it comes to returns. So
Interesting.
it's it's uh it, it's very easy to use and
Right.
way different than how we were used to building automated flows so far.
And so a lot of these platforms have some version of an AI support tool. I know Zendesk does. I think Gorgias, does. Intercom. So do brands use them in parallel? Like, do they use the smart whatever chat bot tool that Zendesk has and Siena, or do they, if they have Siena as an agent, there's no need for that? They can be on a less expensive Zendesk license, or how does that work?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Siena and these help desk platforms, they're very complementary. They work very, very well together. So again, Siena is just like another person that you hire, and you give them a user seat inside of Zendesk or Gorgias. So they can absolutely use, like almost all of the Zendesk or Gorgias functionalities, because that's what they do. That is their core business, being a ticketing system and providing those like, centralization of tickets, the inbox and analytics, all of that. So that's definitely not, what we focus on at Siena. So we just focus on making sure you're hiring this AI agent that can actually automate as many of your use cases as possible, and leaving enough room and bandwidth for the actual humans to do the important things, not
Right.
the mundane and the repetitive things. So maybe, for example, we've had some use cases recently where the team at Cottery, they were able to finally launch their white glove program, which was in the backlog for like over a year, just because they couldn't do it because they were drowning in tickets. But now, because of Siena, they finally got the time to do it. Or the team at Mad Happy, which finally were able to implement a loyalty program because it just Siena took care of so many things, so they finally had the time to do that. Now, to cover like what you mentioned, yes, these help desks, they've added their own AI add-on capabilities. I think the majority of them have that, but again, like it's the main differentiating factor here is like Siena being a specialized AI agent, and then the help desk, their main focus and what they do best is being a ticketing system. There
Right.
are some competing features at the moment. So we even, like, for example, when it comes to like maybe smaller businesses that are just starting out, they might not have like very big advanced goals with AI yet. We actually recommend starting with the AI add-ons that these help desks that they're using are offering. I think that's the best way to start. And if as you're scaling, as you're growing, you might have more clarity over your goals with AI and how do you want to actually approach it. Absolutely, it's way like recommended to look for an advanced AI solution like Siena that can, really, you can get very granular, you can customize, and you can do a lot of additional, like just other jobs to be done.
Yeah. Is it a fair statement, and this maybe I don't know the space super well, but to say from my perspective, the AI tools that Zendesk and other service desk tools provide is really just I see it as a bit of a better knowledge base. Like they're trained on the knowledge base that's there, and then it turns it into a conversational experience with a knowledge base, where Siena can do that, but also can do actions like, can I process a refund? I need to cancel my order. Can I update my subscription? Can I stuff like that? Like, to me, that seems like a differentiator. Would you say, when someone says like, what's unique about Siena AI agent versus just an AI bot that comes with Zendesk? Would that be an accurate view of it?
Yes and no. So when you train Siena, you do have the ability to upload a bunch of knowledge sources. This is actually how it's called inside of Siena, knowledge sources. So you can upload your Shopify product catalog, or maybe you have, Google Docs, Google Sheets. You can upload your entire website, your entire knowledge center, like your help center, from the ticketing system that you're using. So Siena can easily use all the documentation that you already have to answer, the basic customer questions. And then when you want to really cover more advanced actions, that's where you would build out those automations with instructions, with context, with connecting your, the other tools that where Siena would need to go and actually take care of those transactions, such as Shopify or even Bold. We were discussing about trying to see to integrate with Bold and be able to support Bold customers with their subscription use cases.
Yeah, to me, it's those. That's what really makes Siena stand out. Is it's a capable agent. It's not just reciting content that's in a knowledge forum and reciting it. It actually can carry out actions.
Yeah. And what's very unique is that, as I said, it's a very contextual, and it really replicates the way humans think.
Right.
So first, it applies, like it tries to understand the entire context of what the customer is trying to achieve. It can even ask clarifying questions. So for example, when it comes to subscriptions, let's say someone reaches out and says, hey, I want to cancel. So Siena is trained to first ask for the reason. Hey, like, why do you want to cancel? And then offer alternatives, because maybe that subscriber does not know that they have the option to skip or update the frequency, or maybe pause. And then Siena would offer those. And then only after the customer comes back with the final decision, or if they're very adamant about a specific, like, no, I want to do this, or yes, I want to cancel, then she will go ahead and take that action. So it applies that reasoning. And we just recently launched, we're going to announce it this week, our reasoning feature. So basically in the Siena inbox, because you have like a mirror of what you see in your ticketing system, you can see in the Siena inbox and see all of the answers, whether Siena responded to the customer or the agents. You can see literally everything. It's like an inbox. And then under every single Siena response, there is a little reasoning dropdown where Siena explains herself. Like, what did she do? What was her thought process? So you can really understand now where Siena went to get that information, what type of action it took. Like, did it go into Shopify or a specific third-party platform to take care of that transaction? And, what are the next best steps? So, like, you really get a full description of her thought process, which is such a good representation of like how we've built this product at Siena. We're very focused on like transparency, control, safety, making sure there's like full accuracy in the responses, making sure there's like interactions where humans don't even need to interfere because the entire ticket was completely closed by Siena. And it's really good for your fine-tuning process. So for the actual optimization of automation, so let's say there's like a response, and in the reasoning you see like, maybe it was not like a specific step was maybe skipped, or maybe Sienna should have provided an additional thing. So through the reasoning, you kind of understand her thought process and know where to go, what to do, maybe what additional instruction or context to give Sienna, so the next time she will cover everything. So it's just really, really cool. It makes the actual optimization process much smoother. And we're constantly investing in these control, safety, transparency features. And,
Well, probably super helpful to understand too, if an answer that Sienna gives maybe isn't exactly right, and you want to know, where did that come from? Why, to be able to trace back.
Yeah, absolutely.
The source, right? Like that to me, would be super valuable, because otherwise it would be just like an employee. Like if an employee gives the wrong answer, well, where are you getting that information from? There's ultimately some source of truth somewhere, right? So that's awesome. Where do you, like, a lot of brands probably, what is some hesitation that some brands have? Like, or like when you're on a call and, do you find there's a certain mental hurdles? Like, are they afraid of AI? Are they worried that it's going to misrepresent a brand, their branding, or their personas? And like, what are some mental blocks brands have trouble getting over to use Sienna?
I think I would describe the types of, customers I would put them into three categories. So the first category would be, yes, like the skeptical folks that are still afraid of AI. They might have not have any experience yet, maybe just with basic automation, which is like, you cannot compare it at all. The rule based, and they're just like, peeking, they're curious, or maybe they was, it's just part of their KPIs. Just go do your due diligence, find us an AI tool because it's very popular and hot right now, but we have no idea what we're looking for or if we're actually ready for it. Second category, I would say, are the more educated folks that have had experience with AI or automation in the past, but maybe they're just traumatized because their experience was not the best one. So now they're doing a way better due diligence. They maybe want to go through a trial before they fully commit to a new vendor, right? Because they've been burnt in the past, so they don't want to make the same mistakes. And they are actually putting so much more effort and like trying to make sure the vendor they're choosing now can actually solve for all their, problems, and also like address some of the issues they've had in the past. And then the third category, I would say, are the, more visionaries, folks that are not afraid. They love embracing new technology, and they don't really they're not, getting panicked or scared if something does not go 100% differently. They are aware of the fact that AI, it is magical, but it's not yet magic, and you do need that human input and like collaboration, and you do need to put the resources and the work, but it really pays off. So they are the long-term thinkers that like, this is pretty much where we want to bring all these like category 1 and category 2. We want to bring them towards category 3. And I do believe that it is our duty as one of the pioneers in AI agents for customer experience in e-commerce to actually educate our community and the people and the businesses on how they can get to level 3, let's say. But obviously it's a lot of showing what's possible, continue building these features that allow for like transparent and collaboration between humans and AI, and even the certification that we've launched. I think that's made such a big impact, because now before every onboarding, like all of our customers, they go through the certification, and it's like something like pops in their brain, like, wow, oh my god, this makes so much sense now. I'm just so much I feel so much more ready to actually tackle this new technology that is being put in front of me, and I feel so much more confident and like just I trust my abilities now, and I'm slowly becoming, an AI expert. So these are the three main categories that we see at the moment. Yeah.
Super interesting. I wanted to ask you about the Siena certification. Is that so when a brand signs up to use Siena, they have someone on their team that becomes Siena certified? Or when I first looked at it, I thought there's like Siena agencies, like there's bold agencies that are certified for apps. So that's an internal person that gets certified, or is there external people that can help brands launch Siena as well?
Yeah, both.
Okay.
There's both. So the certification was designed for partners and customers. So we do give access to all of our partners, including consultants, including, agencies or BPOs that we partner up with. And then we also give access to all of our customers. So it's definitely there's one AI manager. We like to call it AI manager, but you can also call it like the DRI, the direct responsible individual, for implementing and managing a solution like Siena. So this is something that we in the pre-sales process, we want to make sure we set the expectations. You need someone that will be able to take this responsibility and will work with our customer success team, and we'll go through the certification, and we'll make sure that we have this collaborative environment to get to the milestones that you want to get. So they will absolutely, we absolutely recommend them getting certified. But then we also encourage, hey, if there's all other stakeholders from your team that will be involved in the process, or even your agents, it would be highly recommended that they go, because they will understand and they will collaborate better with you. They will know how to give feedback to Siena, and maybe, empower them to, go and maybe make the tweaks, or maybe, give feedback, or like test some things in the platform themselves. So I think that treating this as a team effort has been resulting in the best success for our customers.
Yeah, I think on a broader level, I think it's going to be pretty soon we start seeing AI departments within like it's, we never used to have a security department and 15 or 20 years ago for system ops and different. And so I think there's, AI ops is going to become just a normal department in every single company. So I think there's probably people doing it already, but yes, that makes a ton of sense. I want to go into a little bit on the actual setup and integration on Shopify. But one of the things, like, I feel like we went over it really fast in the beginning. You can do it with WhatsApp, text, Facebook Messenger, Intercom. You kind of listed a whole bunch. Now, Siena doesn't necessarily power all of those, but if the customer service platform you're using supports those channels, then Siena works in it, or is that okay? So if you're using
so right now, depends on the customer service platform that you're using, and through the customer service platform,
Siena
we can help you automate across.
Gotcha.
We do have our own chat that we will launch very soon. I mean, it's being used by our customer advisory board and our beta customers.
Oh, okay.
So you will be able to leverage. You are able to leverage Siena chat in case you want to replicate that iMessage experience, very conversational, like that feeling of like talking and texting with a friend without those like buttons or like little pop-ups and whatever those things that we have on the original live chats of the world. But now it works through the ticketing system.
I think sometimes when you enter a chat, it sets a precedent right off the bat that it's a bot. It's what are you here today with questions for? And you select from 3 different things, and then you select one, and the list of more questions come up. You select another one, and are you kind of rolling that back and just starting conversational?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's question, answer. Yeah.
Yeah, so good. So that probably makes people less angry right off the bat when you feel like it's not a bot. Can a brand have more than one Siena agent, or is there typically one agent, or is it different agents by channel, or how does that work?
Yeah. So um, they can create multiple personas inside of Siena. We call this functionality Persona Studio. So in the Persona Studio, you can create multiple agents. They can have different names, different set of contexts, different attributes, different instructions, and then you can deploy these agents slash personas across different channels, because obviously every channel is different, right? Even the way you maybe the use cases that you want to cover are different for email versus social media comments. Like you might not want to provide sensitive information in the comments, versus email. So
Totally.
Also on email, you might want to keep things more professional, maybe longer form. Comments or DMs can be short, sweet, concise, more like, I don't know, fun, quirky, whatever it is that your brand, represents. Yeah.
Can you make a persona angry?
Ooh, I don't know if our guardrails would allow that.
Well, I'm thinking of there's some brands that like Liquid Death that maybe they want to
Yeah, you
swear in
can
there.
have a controversial persona, but not like swearing or like angry.
Angry, okay.
Yeah, but you can absolutely do like sarcastic or like more ironic, and just to match your brand. I mean, that's the beauty of it. Yeah,
it's awesome. Actually, before this podcast, I went on a few of your brands. I went on, well, not your brands, but brands using Siena. I went on Everyday Dose. I went on a couple others, and I had some conversations, and I actually tried to trick it a little bit, and I was really impressed. I had some so Everyday Dose does some mushroom coffee, and then I asked it about heavy metals in mushrooms and if there's any traces, and they sent a PDF report. I guess it was a Siena agent, and I asked, is this a bot or is this a person? And they said, just think of me as a friend who wants to help. And it was good. And then
you can instruct it. So it really depends. This is a question. It's a very popular question.
Right.
Like, should I disclose or not that we're using AI? And, it's absolutely your decision. It's up to you. It's up to your, your policies and how do you want to like communicate with your customers. But the majority of our customers do not disclose it's an AI. They just use a real name. And if there's a more tech savvy customer that might figure it out, Siena can, like, it will not be hidden necessarily unless you instruct her to not say necessarily or mention AI. It's all about how you instruct Siena. So you can, it's very flexible. You can absolutely disclose it if you want to.
Have you ever had anyone try to get personal information or sensitive information?
Yes, we had once, and it was such a good learning for us to, I think the product team, really learned a lot from that, and they set up even more guardrails, and
even just like competitive intel. If I was a coffee shop, could I mean, there's probably a lot of chatbots out there. If I said, how many orders did you have today? It might be able to look that up. Or what was your...
No, that's absolutely, that never happened. We were just more about trying to get information about Siena, like ourselves, not our customers.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then we just there was a good understanding, okay, we actually need to improve the guardrails there, and but customer information, no, absolutely not. That's not possible.
Okay. Okay. So now for integrating with Shopify, it's not a Shopify app, correct? It's
correct. Yeah. It's a platform agnostic tool. And a very good example here is the team at Kitsch. They recently migrated from their old help desk to another one, and they were able to literally in a few clicks just install Siena on their new help desk provider. So this is the beauty. You can take Siena with you anywhere. You are not going to be locked in a specific platform just because of
So
it.
good.
So I think that's what they really love.
That's a
It's
great
like,
point.
taking your team with you. Like
It's
it's
your
the
person.
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it an app within the Zendesk app environment?
No, it's not an app anywhere.
Okay.
I mean, it's not on the Shopify App Store. We are available, obviously, on the Gorgias Partner Portal, on all of these like partner portals. But the way you install it is through our own platform, and then when you connect it with the help desk, it's going to be done from inside of the Siena platform. You just add your domain. There's a few extra steps there, but like typically in 2 to 5 minutes, you can just have your help desk integrated with Siena and you can start processing tickets.
Okay. And what does onboarding time typically look like? Or I guess this probably depends on size. Maybe I should ask this question first. Like what's a good size of a brand that should be using Siena? Is there do you kind of say like at a certain amount of orders per month or tickets per month, or could anyone use it, or what does that look like?
Yes. So absolutely anyone can use it, but it makes more sense for you as a business and for, just as a business cost to look at AI once you hit at least, 2,000 or 3,000 tickets per month. So we look at the ticket volume. It just makes more sense when you like get to a specific volume to invest in AI. Yeah.
Okay. And then, so for a store that's doing, let's just say 3,000 tickets a month, how fast can they be up and running with a Siena agent in their environment?
Yeah. So the onboarding does not necessarily like it's not real, like the time, time to value is not correlated to how many tickets you have. We have an onboarding process that we like kept like improving over and over again, and now we found such a successful formula, and like you can actually see the time to value has like reduced since even last year, right? But basically the beauty of the platform is that you can have automations running in minutes. Now, the more lengthy process is the actual QA and making sure we review the initial responses and we are happy with them. And then if they need optimization, we take the time and go and add maybe an additional instruction or maybe add another automation or upload another knowledge source. So we make sure slowly we fill all Siena's gaps, because it's pretty much the same as it's a person that you just hire, right? You bring them into the team, it's their first week. You want to give them as much context, as much documentation as possible so they can learn and start tackling tickets, right? Because if you only give them, one document that only covers returns, but then you give them access to all of your tickets in your system, so they will just try to like make things up because they have no idea. They only were, trained on how returns work. So it's pretty much the same with Siena, right? But the beauty is that you can have automations up and running in minutes. And the way we do things is we look in their ticketing system and we look in their analytics and let's see like what are the most popular inquiries that you're getting and start with those, because we want to cover the use cases that are the highest in percentage of occurrence, and we start building those out. And most of the time there's like the basic actions like where's my order, how can I return, maybe some product questions, all of these things, and we create all of those. We can also import macros. We just upload knowledge sources, so we have some quick easy wins, because basically you just need to drag and drop some sources and then Siena can learn from those.
Makes sense.
Then in the first week or two, we actually enable these automations under internal notes. So what internal notes are, they are just drafted responses by Siena that are only visible to the agents and yourself. So they will not be going to the end customer. So you can have you can see how Siena responds, but you have that like assurance that, hey, like these responses are not yet going to our customers and we are in charge of like actually sending them out. And also it's a good time frame for you to like a good understanding for you to see, okay, like, is Siena actually meeting our expectations, and what where there's room for improvement and optimization. Once you feel like, oh, like these internal notes are really, really good, like Siena really responds very well, you can just like turn that off and go fully autonomous. So that's like just an intermediate step in our onboarding process.
So is the flow of the internal notes, if I'm a human support agent, and I'm answering tickets in Gorgias and a ticket comes in, Siena puts the reply of what it would have replied, and then I can either like approve it, not approve it, or suggest an edit?
You can yes, you can approve it, not approve it, give feedback. But then if you want to use that response, you just copy paste and send it to the customer.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And is that only for email tickets? Can I do the
That's
same thing?
for
like
any channel.
They work on channel. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means obviously that makes a lot more sense when I think about onboarding. It's an iterative process where probably, in the beginning there may be 20% of tickets are Siena, then 40, and then it scales up, right? I see on your website you're saying on average it's around 80% now. Like a lot of brands that are fully onboarded, Siena is doing 80% of all tickets.
Yeah, we have customers that are doing 80%, and they're just crushing it. And they knew. So the main difference here, and I think this is something that I'm very passionate about, is that these types of customers and businesses who are automating 70-80%, and they're very successful with AI, there's one driver behind their success, and that is curiosity, and people who were very curious. So when they started, and when they even started conversations with us before fully getting on board, they were relentless about learning, even in the pre-sales process, or maybe they've gone through a trial, and even in the trial you could see that they were like sponges. They just like wanted to build so much, do so much, test so much. They were not afraid of putting in the work. We've had, for example, the team at Terra Cafe were among our first customers, and Madison, who at that time, she and Kate, they implemented Siena. So what they've done in literally the first week, they've built 100 automations, and they were like relentlessly testing them and making sure they were optimizing everything. So they really, were very passionate about it. And that's like, I had recently an event where I was a speaker, and I talked about how to build AI first teams. And I'm always like challenging people like to ask themselves, like managers, like, are you hiring people that are passionate about AI? Are you embedding AI into your culture? Are you investing in AI infrastructure as a strategic advantage? Because if you really want to succeed with AI, it's not just about, let's just, do some, AI, whatever, find an AI app for customer service and just test it out because I saw it's cool, because I've seen it on Twitter, everyone is using it, and we're not. No, it's like you need the right people, culture, and infrastructure. And you really need to, like brainstorm with your leadership team or with your, founding team. Like, okay, why do we want to, use AI? Like what are our actual goals? Where do we see the business in 6, 12, 18, 24 months? And then like, what are the first maybe areas that we could deploy AI that are going to have the biggest impact? But you do need to think about this like on long term, and you do need to make sure you actually have the right resources and team, the right mindset, if you want to actually get that successful. And I feel like on the customer service side, like the customer service roles are evolving into high value positions that really require analytical and strategic skills. And I feel like because of the team not being like always, bogged down by repetitive tasks, they will become AI managers overseeing these AI agents that handle the grunt work. So that's why I do believe, as you said, yes, we are seeing more and more like AI specialists, AI managers, or operations roles being opened, because the way you will have to blend these set of skills in your team and the way you will have to build teams will be a little bit different. And even at Siena, like one of our hiring questions in the interview process is like, can you tell me some interesting use cases you are using AI today, like personal but also work related? And can you tell me some interesting tools, AI tools that you recently discovered? I do not want to hear ChatGPT. Or if you're telling me ChatGPT, fine, but tell me something, interesting that I haven't maybe tried before. So that's how you like just, create a culture and like just change the way we've been doing things.
That's so interesting. I think I can't remember which company it was. They found that people that who use Chrome instead of, this was like 5 or 10 years ago, it was instead of either Safari or Explorer, ended up being, it was like a 40% more productive employee, that they had a higher tenure. They were just better employees. And so you think, well, what the heck does using Chrome have to do with being a better employee? Like, it makes no sense. A browser.
It has to do a lot. Yeah. The tools that you're using. Yeah. They have to like,
it boiled down to,
I feel like I am a bit judgy when I see people using like old tools.
Well, it says something about the person. So the person got a computer and didn't want to use the default browser that came with it. And of course, like I use Chrome, it's better in so many ways, but it shows that person doesn't accept just the basic. And so they had a form on their website that was when they would submit their form to apply for a job, and on the analytics you could see which browser it was submitted from, and they just started only taking people that submitted it with Chrome, I guess, unless it was like an amazing, I can't remember what the company was, but no, that's a great question to ask on an interview. I love that.
You should also, speaking of browsers, I am on Arc now. You should try Arc.
Oh, okay. Now I'm outdated on Chrome. Look at this. So, okay. Outside of support, I feel like Siena can probably do a lot in the area of like increasing average order volume, or like selling more, increasing revenue. What can Siena help in those areas as well?
Yeah. So Siena is already helping brands, especially beauty brands like Kitsch. So they have generated so much revenue since being with Siena without even optimizing Siena necessarily to sell. But because you're giving Siena context about your product, about, like what your brand stands for, like just everything that you tell, like your human team, Siena should know as well. And then maybe you give Siena or create some automation, like some seasonal ones, for Black Friday, for example, or, where we've launched this new product line, whatever it is, you can give that context to Siena, even if it's seasonal, or create specific automations. And then, because of the nature of being extremely empathic and like, just optimizing like how the interactions are being done, it's just like it's leading to high ticket conversion rates. So right now the average ticket conversion rate that Siena has is around 10%, and it's not even like we don't have like a standalone Siena sales agent, at least not yet. But you can do all of these things, and it's like so powerful. And
so wait, when you say ticket conversion rate, that's people who interact with Siena.
Yes, and then after they purchase, before they purchase. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
That's super good.
Yeah, because by creating those pre-sale automations and making sure Siena covers as many of those as possible. When there's someone on the website, just browsing, maybe they have product questions, they might want to compare products or whatever questions they might have, having someone there like can instantly respond really leads to higher conversion rates. It's just the nature of things, versus just leaving your visitors or even repeat customers, just browse by themselves. And a lot of the times being there really helps and leads to more sales.
Yeah. Are you seeing brands do things like promoting coupon codes? Like I never thought about doing this on a chatbot, but going on a website and asking what's on sale right now. Or like often people go to a website, they add something to the cart, and then they go to Google and search coupon code for whatever site. Maybe they can ask the chatbot that, like, are there any coupon codes right now, to save the time of how many people add something to a cart and then try to wait a couple hours for the abandoned cart email, and then they completely forget to buy what they were going to buy in the first place.
They do. Yeah. There are a lot of customers who are creating automation specific to, discount codes or promotions or offers that they might be having. For example, we work with 8 Sleep. They also have a members discount code that it is built in one of their automations. So whenever someone asks, yes, Siena will provide that and will make sure, even like, okay, what are the benefits of being a member? Okay, you also get the discount as a benefit. So yeah, for sure.
That's so smart. So Siena is about 2 years old. When did you launch?
Yeah, 2 years old. I mean, we launched with our first beta customers January 2023. So
okay.
almost 2 years.
Yeah. I've been, following along on the side and through social, and like, it's incredible how far it's come. I imagine there's a lot, like fast forward 5 years. Like, I think of everything you've accomplished in this period of time. What are some things that you're really excited about now that Siena is an agent? Like you hinted a little bit at sales, and like that I think is a huge area potentially. Like you want to talk to someone about, like we work with Harry Rosen, and I don't know, I think they may have developed it themselves, but they have what they call these digital style consultants. And it's, you can upload your picture, and they actually like are giving real advice on like what to wear for a certain event and things like that. I don't know, the sky's probably the limit, but what excites you about the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, the sky is absolutely the limit. Oh my God, there's so much to build, and our roadmap is so exciting, and I would love to just build everything today. But yes, so definitely, I think what we want to give to our customers and the market is like, what else can you do with, all of these incredible insights from conversations that are happening across multiple channels. We know that today there that these types of insights are being manually gathered and centralized by people, and they spend like dozens, hundreds of hours probably every single month just like going manually across every single channel and trying to understand sentiment. What are people saying, feedback. We just launched this new product, or maybe we've launched an enhancement of our current product, but we want to understand like what's the feedback, how can we improve that, and then take all of these insights to our marketing, to our product team, and improve the business, right? So we want to make sure we provide the right tools to our customers to be able to do that and leverage AI. And then obviously we want to double down on integration. So one of the, I talked about custom actions. We are going to very soon be able to, our customers are going to be able very soon to share the custom actions that they're building for themselves. So for example, Michael from Hexclad, we are working with him to integrate order protection. So Siena covers those use cases. So we're building those actions, and then Michael will be able to share those actions with another order protection customer that might, they don't need to build it themselves. They just literally enable it in like 1-2 clicks, and they will be able to have additional actions that Siena can tackle. So, being able to leverage what our customers are building and all of these like advanced, very nuanced functionalities, so you can easily share them across. And then we're going to double down on like other integrations,
like
more capabilities.
Siena Zaps, almost like pre-built flows. Yeah, so smart.
Yeah. So integrations, we're always investing in how can we make, Siena's like even responses and, as I said, like the accuracy, like reasoning behind her thought process, the actions, how can we always enhance those? That's like something that we're constantly investing in. And then definitely, insights, we're gonna work more on enabling more of the sales use cases as well. But there's just like a lot of
So
things.
many.
I cannot share too much, but there's a lot of things going on, and we are grateful to have our customers giving us so much feedback every single day. We just like announced our customer advisory board, so we work very closely with them and just trying to bridge, their feedback, their needs, and then with our innovations and like what we know that they might not know that they need, but they will absolutely need it.
Yeah. The insights is a really interesting one. Like the data that Siena has on what questions customers have when they're shopping and like the impact that could potentially make on conversion if you took some of that data and then brands adapted their landing pages to like, address some of the most common questions. Like here's like their 8 most asked things. Well, that should probably be in the description or in the FAQ or part of the image carousel, somehow address that better. If the number one thing people are looking for is order tracking, maybe that's a hard thing to find on the website. I don't know, but the insights that can come out of the questions and sentiment that fascinates me. And I think that's a whole world in and of itself that I could see a world where Siena one day has its own app marketplace and there's like reporting tools and there's all these other things that live on top of it just from all that data. Like it's.
Yeah. The goal here is to also like help these teams uncover what might not work very well in their business. So if you keep seeing over and over again, one month after the other, like customers complaining about a specific thing, or they might need help with a specific transaction, which you could easily maybe automate, or maybe you can change something on the website or just improve something in the back end. You want to be doing that because like ideally you want to reduce your tickets, with AI. You want to like go to the root cause because AI pointed you towards that direction and solve the root cause. I think this is something that still requires like this mindset shift, because it's not just a patch, like, oh, like you just hire more people or like build more automations. No, like you need to also learn from these things and see what maybe can be absolutely like completely solved without even needing, to get more tickets around that.
Yeah. Amazing. I mean, 5 years from now, probably this will be, I will say this will be
way
old
more
news.
of a commodity.
Right.
Absolutely.
But I think brands right now, there's always that first mover advantage or early adopter advantage. And I think right now there's an opportunity to embrace AI, free up resources to, like you said, do more strategic growth. Like the brand you mentioned that introduced their loyalty program, they were able to do what's important, not urgent, right? And we always get caught up with, well, there's thousands of tickets, I can't get to this project that needs to be done. Now's the time to, I think, get ahead on that. So why don't we close with, like we said we probably wouldn't go the full hour, but look, we did. It always happens. But before we go on too far, I think I even only got through like a quarter of the questions I had, but I think that this has been a pretty good dive into Siena and leveraging AI. So like if someone right now is thinking I'm interested in embracing AI for my brand, and I maybe I was that bucket number 2 that you mentioned, and I'm ready to take the step. What would you encourage them to do, or where can they get started, or what would be some next steps for someone who's thinking that?
Yeah. So a lot of businesses are thinking, 2025 is coming. We have these goals. We want to reduce costs. We maybe want to operate in a leaner way. We want to improve our CSAT scores. We, want to maybe open or like start launching some new programs, some new projects, and we want to make sure we actually get all of these done, and we're not going to like end of 2025 not achieving our goals. So that's good. Like you first have your goals, you know where you're going, and like you have like everything mapped out. So like the first thing that you should do, absolutely have clear goals and alignment with your team. Second, okay, you've decided that customer service is one of the areas that you want to embrace AI on, and it's one of the lowest hanging fruits. So you have like clear customer service goals. There's some clear KPIs that you want to hit, and you know AI is going to help you achieve and get there. Perfect. Third, just start looking at vendors. Usually, I think there's so much noise in the market. It's crazy. I just feel for everyone being probably targeted with dozens of emails and like I don't know per week of like, hey, do you want to try our AI customer service agent and blah blah. There's like a bunch of agents and you have no idea what you should be looking for. So here I think just tap into your network and see which one of your friends or might be already doing it, and like ask for recommendations. And then yes, I would suggest creating a list of top vendors that you feel like would be worth speaking with, and do proper diligence. Do not rush. Do not think that you will be able to get to 80% in 2 weeks. And one of the biggest like strategic things that you could do is actually start when you don't have where you're not in your peak season. So I think for example, Q3 is very funny because Q3 is the best time for you to actually start Q2 or Q3 to start implementing AI, so you make sure you're ready for Q4 and the craziness, right? Especially if you have like a pretty busy period during Black Friday or Christmas. But most of them are just like sleeping over the summer. I understand it's summer. You might just want to be sipping margaritas and not really caring about AI agents, but you do need to like think strategically, so you are not feeling like you're, oh my god, rushing, or you're like have that pressure. Obviously it doesn't take 3 months, but you do want to like make sure you have a lot of time to actually get into a really good spot, and even scale, and get to like do more things. So choose your vendors, do proper diligence, ask the right questions, maybe create like a small spreadsheet of like the things that really need to be there are your must-haves and then nice-to-haves when it comes to the vendors. Share that with them. We also have one that we share with our customers because we know exactly what you need because we're experts, and that's why we do like proper discovery, and then we can share that with you, so you're not being in a way fooled by because a lot of companies have amazing salespeople, so you really need to be careful of like understanding the feasibility and actually, okay, is this actually possible or not? Maybe even go for a trial or some live testing sessions, and then bring other stakeholders from the team, get their buy-in, and then I think, yeah, you're ready to choose a partner. But yeah, these are the steps that I wouldn't necessarily skip.
Okay, now Lisa, I have asked like 100 guests at the end of a show what to do to get started in any specific area of the product or service they sell. And I've never had someone say, go out to the market and find a bunch. You're way too modest. I was expecting you to just say how to get started with Siena. So like, kudos to you for being a good human being. And
I understand that the market is so noisy and like people will just think I am biased, which.
Okay, well, here's your chance to be biased. If someone wants to get started with Siena, what's the next steps? Because I really appreciate how humble you are and you recommend that they go to the market. But Siena is a pretty good option if they listen to this.
Siena is the best option. Absolutely.
There you go.
Just get in touch with us. We are on LinkedIn, or I will drop, Jay, you can add our emails.
I'll put all the show notes. Siena.cx is the site.
Yeah.
You're for sure on Shopify. You said you're platform agnostic?
Yeah, we are not on the App Store. So the best way to reach us is on the website. Just book a demo with us or send me a DM on LinkedIn or my team. What I love about my sales team is that we are like always going to work with you and find what's in your best interest. So we are very consultative. So we take time to really understand your goals, your needs, and then make the best like action plan moving forward. So yeah.
Well, I think that's amazing. Lisa, thank you so much for your time. This has been a ton of fun, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for your questions, Jay.